Welcome back to Entrepreneur Money Stories. Allison, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited about this collaboration and partnership that we have unfolding. Thank you for inviting me into this partnership. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? Like, what is your mission in the world? What do you do? How do you do it?
My name is Alison Reeves from AllisonReeves.co, and I've been marketing online since 2011. So I have a lot of experience in I know it's a long time in internet years, especially.
Yes.
So I don't believe that it's been over 10 years, but it's a long time in internet years. So I had a career in marketing for a long time, and I got into coaching real estate agents marketing in 2017. And then in 2018, my personal blog kind of took off and I pivoted to marketing coaching for solopreneurs. What I discovered, though, is that the strategy only gets people so far. So I've kind of dived deeper into mindset as the years have gone on, going so far as to get a somatic coaching certification that's ICF accredited. So I can go really deep into the mindset and emotional and embodiment side of entrepreneurship. But I'm still obviously very grounded in the masculine, practical, techie side. And so this collaboration that we have, the Aligned and Affluent collaborative course, is building on the mindset side of entrepreneurs need more than strategy. So that's my background, my mission. I want to help people make more money, but I want to do that for people so that they can enjoy their lives more. And that's really what the mission is all about.
I came into my business 9 years ago from the corporate world. So CFO, very masculine energy, things were data. And when I approached our first few clients and approach our business, it was from a data-driven side. I kept on saying, this is what the numbers say. This is how we make decisions. What are you guys talking about? This mindset stuff. This is crazy.
Yes.
Right? This is nonsense crazy. And it took me a long time that as we started to work with more and more clients to understand that there was a whole component of money mindset behind how we make every decision as business owners. And I think I had a hard time wrapping my head around it. One, I think I lead from a little bit of a masculine energy and that strategy and action. So I think that's my energy. So I naturally lead with that. And because I had seen so many business owners in my corporate world, and I'm talking private equity firms, investors, CEOs, who, again, leading with that same analytical, data-driven mentality, it took me a long time to understand that we don't have boxes, right? We're human running this human experience. And so we don't have specifically our home life and our experiences that have happened in our lives, and then our entrepreneurship journey. All of that we've had, our money mindset, all of our experiences, everything that we watched our parents go through, we actually bring all that into our business.
Yeah, totally. And I'm with you because I thought mindset, I'd heard about mindset in general. I just thought it was total baloney until 2019. I was in a mastermind where they taught it in a different way. And I read the book Psycho-Cybernetics, and then I saw the impact of that in my business right away. And then most of my case studies, even from my blog coaching days, mention the mindset as the reason they got results.
It's incredible. Awesome. Let's dig in a little bit more about this specific event that you are running and hosting and this collaboration.
Yeah. So I had this idea for this collaborative course because I see a lot of summits around on the internet, and summits are a great way to have a lot of industry leaders come together and teach. And usually you can attend an online summit for free, and then there's a paid upgrade where you can get all the replays. But I never go to the live parts of summits. I find it overwhelming, noisy. I feel so much pressure. So I'm either going to buy the replays or nothing. And I thought, I want to have industry leaders come together on this topic. I haven't seen in the entrepreneur space a huge collaboration of industry leaders talking about money mindset, energetics, nervous system regulation, manifesting, all the feminine stuff in entrepreneurship. I see a lot of silos. I see a lot of people educating, but not let's have people come together and build a snowball of education and momentum. And I didn't want to do it in the form of a summit because I don't go to summits. I do like summits, but I've only attended really one ever. So to me, this was the best part of a summit of let's just bring together what people want, which is the educational side that they can have forever. And then the other thing that's really fun about it is because there's so many different topics. Like we have topics on the money mindset, which I want to kind of pick your brain about your lesson coming up. But we also have a couple of lessons on Akashic records. We have lessons on scripting and manifesting, on nervous system regulation. And so to me, these four things make up a holistic approach to abundance mindset. Because as you know too, like the money mindset is just the first part, right? And your brain and your mind is only up here. It's only one part of your body. So when we involve our nervous system, that involves a lot more of our whole being. And then when we involve energetics, we get to tap into things that a lot of listeners probably don't believe in, like quantum physics and
I was gonna say, yeah, let's dig
realities.
in like for 2 minutes. Let's just dig in because I'm picturing myself listening to this. Some people know this about me. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my personal life, I really love that wellness perspective. So let's just touch on like nervous system regulation. What in the hell does that mean? And why is it important as a business owner?
When I talk about abundance to entrepreneurs, you have to start, or like even just growing your money. Let's not even use the word abundance, like making more money involves your mindset. Because if you don't believe that you can, or you piss it all away in your expenses over and over again, like I was doing for a long time, you can never build wealth because your mindset's limiting you. And then there's a practical side of entrepreneurship where, like, okay, now we have to think about how we're going to make money. And then after you are safe at a practical perspective, you have to start learning to regulate your nervous system. So when we're talking about regulating our nervous system, I'm talking about two main applications. One is like emotional balancing, which is like, can I feel good things and bad things at the same time?
Okay.
When I'm stressed out, can I still function in my business? When I'm experiencing anxiety, like how much does that derail me? How fast can I calm myself down? Those are big components of nervous system regulation, are being able to manage emotions, calm down more quickly, feel two things at once, which are all really important for sustainability as an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur is stressful, it involves a lot of unknowns. But nervous system regulation is also really important for manifesting, because when we're dealing with the masculine, it's all on paper. We see the math, we take the steps, but that only gets you so far. So when you start leaning into the feminine, we're looking at like faith, things we can't see, and that involves trust. And if you're going to trust in things you can't see, the ability to regulate your nervous system means that you can chill out when you don't know what's happening. And then we can go into more on like inner child work and like dealing with needs and triggers that is really wrapped up in the nervous system. But yeah, manifesting mindset, increasing more abundance. After you create practical safety for yourself, regulating your nervous system is what will help you have a more trauma-informed approach to manifesting, like being able to function more consistently in your business.
Have you heard yourself saying, I'm scared to invest money in my business because what if it doesn't come back? I don't know how much to pay myself, so I won't take a paycheck yet. I'm reinvesting in the business anyway. Or how about, I'm not going to spend any more money until I know exactly where my money is going. Well, let me tell you, you are not alone. In fact, we have heard all of these stories and more throughout the last 9 years at Kickstart Accounting Inc. And that is why we have created the Money Mindset Mastery Framework to finally unlock and overcome these stories, to finally feel confident in your financial decisions and pay yourself what you deserve. The first step to create a profitable and successful business is to first understand your money mindset. Find out your money mindset personality type by going to kickstartaccountinginc.com/quiz. I can't wait to hear what your money mindset type is. So talk to me a little bit about the transformation. So you're talking to somebody who definitely, like I said, operates from the masculine side. Like I love data, numbers. I paid far less. Like becoming a yoga instructor was like how I forced myself to tap into this other side. Speaking to somebody like me who really, it's hard for them to kind of pay attention to this part of running a business. Like I'm like, I can run on fumes. I am today. What is the transformation, right? Like what is the takeaway? What will somebody benefit from leaning into this side?
More wealth with less force. That's one thing. How long can you run on fumes? Because like running yourself into the ground, it works for making money until it doesn't. That's the problem with it, is being tired, working 80 hours a week, forcing the masculine. That works until it doesn't. And I don't think I would have gotten into energetics if I didn't literally hit a wall where the strategy wasn't working anymore because I was burned out. Enjoyment of life, right? So as your business grows, your self-care should grow. And usually it's the other way around. As our business grows, we take less care of ourselves. We spend less time with our kids. We don't have date night anymore. We're not sleeping as much. What is a rich life if you're only rich in part of it? That's the other side of it. And then there's like I'll give you a very specific example because I know this can still sound like pie in the sky woo-woo stuff. So I have a client who, for a while, when we were first working together, she had a newborn. The only time that she could work was at night, which is not her optimal time. She also does a lot of creative work and copywriting. So what was happening was she'd put the baby down to sleep, and then she would be really anxious about getting started to work. She'd be so afraid the baby would wake up and interrupt her, which would mess up her mental flow. So she was like sitting down to work, and it was taking her 2 hours to calm down enough to work. So we worked on regulating her nervous system and being able to calm down more quickly, but also feel the stress and feel the peace at the same time. She could get to work right away and go to bed before 2 a.m. That's like a practical application. Another application is like, I feel like a lot of people, the idea of rest is nice, but have you ever sat down to rest and felt really anxious about the downtime?
Yeah, I'm a terrible example of this. However, I think I'm getting better. I read all day last Sunday and I was so proud of myself for it.
That is a huge thing. I couldn't read for years. I couldn't meditate for years until I discovered breath work and regulating my nervous system. So this is like a holistic approach to like, there are plenty of rich people who just force their way through the masculine and that works. But for a lot of us, that stops working. Or a lot of people who end up making the money they want to make are miserable. So all of this will lead to like a truly holistic abundance approach to your life and business.
So learning how to actually love our life afterwards. Awesome. I think it can be really difficult for people to conceptualize. Like we hear these buzzwords like prevent burnout. And I talk about it in having a long-term, sustainable, healthy, profitable business, right? But like you're not in it for the long game if you can't enjoy your life. You can't be healthy if you are not willing to say, I don't have to do everything in my business. I need help. I need to bring in experts. I need people. We can't have a healthy business if we're the superhero cape and do everything ourselves. We can't be profitable if we can't show back up to our business with energy and life to be able to carry the values, to carry the energy, to carry the growth of our company.
Yeah. And how quickly can you deal with triggers? Like when I talk about emotional balancing and dealing with stress and then being able to enjoy and take action at the same time, when you have a trigger in your business, like you lose a client or you have a big blow up, or like those things can be really painful. When you have a more holistic approach, that's not just action, but also all this woo-woo stuff we're talking about. What if you could deal with that trigger in 10 minutes instead of 3 days?
Yeah. Get back to work, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else somebody who's listening should know about this event, this course?
Yeah, it's a course. I mean, you're going to be hearing from over 25 educators who are industry leaders in all these different things. You'll have short videos to watch for each person. There's going to be homework at every lesson. So it'll be actually actionable, which I feel like I love summits, but sometimes it's missing from summits because summits can be a little bit of like a pitch fest for the educators because that's the most of the value they get out of it, which totally makes sense. But this is really meant to be like an actionable course with a wide range of topics dealing with the woo-woo stuff and entrepreneurship. The lowest this course will ever cost is between October 16th and October 20th. And the course will always be available for that through all of the contributors. So it won't be the last time you'll be able to buy it, but that's the lowest cost you'll ever encounter between October 16th and October 20th. And there's also one of the bonuses of buying early as well is that some of the modules are going to be dripped live. If you buy before the 20th, you'll have the opportunity to actually see some of the modules being built live, answer questions with some of the educators, which is another bonus of buying early. But yeah, the Aligned and Affluent collaborative course, first of its kind, you'll hear from 25 different educators and you'll have lifetime access to the course.
How long would it take somebody to go through the entire course?
It would take you at least several weeks because there's going to be over 20 modules and the videos, each lesson is only one video, but the videos range from 10 minutes to 45 minutes. So some of them will take you longer than others to complete.
Yeah, when you told me the time frame, I was like, oh God, Elsa, I can talk for way longer.
I know. Yeah. I said people's videos need to be at least 10 minutes so we have like something to watch, but most people's videos are, I would say 25 to 45 minutes. Actually, I would love for you to tell us about your lesson inside of the course.
We have been focusing more and more on money mindset over the course of this year, understanding that when we work with clients, I can't tell you how many times people will say, I have so much stress and anxiety around this information. And this is after they've hired us. So they have organized information. Their bookkeeping is accurate. They're receiving regular reports. They have access to their snapshots, so an organized PDF that helps them understand their numbers. They have access to all of this stuff. The one thing that I get over and over again is that they are surprised that they still feel anxious. They thought that it was because it wasn't organized before. And they thought it was because they were having to do the bookkeeping and they didn't know if it was right or wrong. Once everything is organized and accurate, and there's still this stress and anxiety around this topic, we realize, hold on, there's something else to this. So we have clients who don't open our emails. They don't open them. So they're getting all this beautiful information, but they can't even bring themselves to open the actual email. And that's where we realize that this is money mindset. And we have to go back. We have to look backwards in order to be able to move forward. Why do we feel this way? Like, what happened that has created this tension around this topic? And yes, a lot of this is like many things over time. In the course, I actually shared my story and what happened to me and why I believe that I am who I am in my business today and how it has contributed to my money mindset personality type. So I shared that in the course as well. So it is this process of looking backwards so that you can start to learn new skills so that you can approach your money with acceptance, where you can actually open our emails, you can feel comfortable talking to your tax accountant. And now I'm not saying like I'm waving some magical wand and like all of a sudden you're a money person and it feels comfortable and awesome, but you can start to have the tools to have in your tool belt. Like you were saying, like calm your nervous system afterwards, right? Like there's a piece of this that's like, I don't have to feel so frantic and anxious around my money.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, one thing you just said, first of all, for people listening, I'm a client of Danielle's and have been for 3 years. And it was such a godsend. Although when I got into a hole in 2021, 2022, where I like struggled to look at the reports. But then like from last year to now, my total sales are down about 20%. My profit has been consistently over 300% growth, like compared to last year. And that's like the benefit of like being able to look at the money, but also having somebody support you in that area. The reports you guys give are just like very nourishing. But one thing you said also relates to the nervous system, which is like that the fear of looking at your money. We all have a window of tolerance where like if you hear people talking about being edgy, they're like getting close to the window of tolerance. But if you go outside of that, your nervous system can become dysregulated. So for some people, we can be so afraid to look at our money. We can get so anxious looking at our money that your nervous system actually becomes dysregulated. And some people can have like literal money trauma, not just like stress, but like, yeah. So everything you're saying, if you can work on all the stuff that Danielle is sharing now, you can avoid money trauma and having a dysregulated nervous system. And also you can have a financially healthy business.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that story between revenue and profit, because if you were afraid to open those reports or you felt anxious around it and were willing to do it, or maybe didn't even have access to them, you would just be looking at that revenue number and feeling defeated because
totally. It's like that is not the whole story. Like my revenue is down 20%, what a bummer. My profit is up. And last month it was up over 300% year over year. And I'm like, I'm paying myself more. I'm paying myself more than I pay other people. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that story. I really appreciate it. I think that we covered a lot. Is there anything else that we feel like is important for people to know about this?
No, they can comment, email, however, the best way to contact you or me if you want to tag me in comments for things you don't know. But yeah, we'll just stay in the conversation as questions arise.
Okay. And then where can people find more information about you and learn about you and your other services as well as this course?
Yeah, I'm at AllisonReeves.co, and I have a page that's AllisonReeves.co/everything, which has all of my offers on it because I have a business coach and a somatic healing coach. So there's a wide range of things on there. So it's all listed on my website.
I really like that URL. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the complete impact of this.
Yeah, I'm honored that you're a part of it, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Awesome. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see you next week.